Hey guys, Dave from the Centurion's Review. I'm going to do a playthrough here of Fort Sumter. The first player to begin is the Union player. Basically, the way the game starts is each player gets 2 objective cards and 4 strategy cards. So the first thing the Union player is going to do is choose which objective cards they want. They have abolitionists and state assemblies. And those are on public opinion spaces. And let's see their strategy cards so we can figure out. These don't really go with their strategy cards at all. Well, with this one, so. He'll keep the abolitionist one. And discard the state assembly. Alright, the Confederates now, they look at their objectives. They have Fort Pickens and the border states. One's on a secession, and the other's an armaments one. Let's see what kind of cards he has here. He's going to keep the Fort Pickens one and discard the border states one. So now the Union goes first. Each side has 4 strategy cards, but they only get to use 3, and they save the last one for the final crisis. So let's start with the Union here. The color up here says that this is a Union card, which means the Union can use the event here if they wish. This other one, the gray, that's a Confederate card, or they call them secessionists. And this, I'm just going to call them Confederates. And this 3 here, that's blue and gray, so either side can do the event on it. He's going to add up to 3 tokens to any spaces. So he grabs them from here, from the crisis track. And 1, 2, 3. Alright, next the secessionists go, or Confederates, whatever you want to call them. Let's see what they got. His objective was an armaments space, so he's going to play Charleston. He's going to add up to 2 tokens to the Fort Sumter space. That space is worth a victory point at the end of the game, and also it can break ties too. So it's an important space in this game. Alright, let's go back to the Union. He's going to do this card, William Lloyd Garrison. Add up to 2 tokens to the abolitionist space. And now the Confederates will go. He's going to play, he can't play the event on this because that's a Union card, so let's see what he can do here. He's going to do Jefferson Davis, add up to 3 tokens to political spaces. And it's back to the Union. He's going to do inauguration, add up to 4 tokens to political spaces. And let me show you what's going on here. He's about to break through on this line here. This is the escalation line. So he takes 1, 2, 3, and he also breaks through onto the tension line. So at the end of his turn, something's going to happen. We'll explain that. So those go in political spaces. So he's going to try and stop the evil Confederates. Since he breached the escalation, he gets these 2 bonus tokens that go into his token pool. One thing with the token pool is once you got stuff in your token pool, you can no longer take anything directly from the crisis track. You can only take directly from the crisis track if you have nothing in your token pool. He also broke through on the tension track, so he gets the 3 tokens here. But the other side gets the Peace Commissioner, which they can use to prevent tokens from being put onto a certain space or removed from a space. So probably Fort Sumter is what the Confederates want to hold on to the most. Let me think about that just for one sec. Yeah, that's probably the best bet for right now. And he has 1 strategy card left, so that'll be safe to the end of the game. For the final crisis, we'll explain that at the end. So the secessionists have to choose their last card here. He's going to play this for its value of 3 and save this one for the final crisis. So he'll take 3 tokens, and he broke through on the escalation track, and those can go into any space. So let's see what he can do here. You place 2 there, or let me think about that for one sec. Place 1 there, 1 there. He'll just put the other one there. Okay, so that's the end. So now, next phase. Alright, everyone in control of a pivotal space, which is these with the white background, can either move or remove 2 tokens. So the Union goes first. They have control of this pivotal space, so obviously they're going to want to remove these 2 Confederate tokens and put them back into the Confederate token pool. And the Union's also in control here of those are public opinion spaces, so they're going to move 2 tokens from within there to here. And Confederates will go, let's see what they're going to do. They're pretty, this is the only pivotal space they have. They're pretty happy with that layout actually, so they're just going to leave that. Now it's time to score 1 victory point for each crisis dimension you control. Union will go first. They control the whole political space, so they get 1 victory point. And they also control the public opinion space, which gives them 1 more victory point. And then the Confederates control the armament, so they get 1 victory point, so the Union is in the lead. Alright, now we look at that objective card that we saved. The Union's objective was abolitionists, and they do control that, so that will give them 1 additional victory point. And at the end of the then they will get to play the event on it since they got it. If you played this card and control the abolitionist space, you may remove up to 2 tokens from any 1 space. Let me check the rulebook and see if that can happen right now, if it happens at the end. I believe that's after all the both objectives are resolved. So now it's Fort Pickens, which the Confederates do control, so they get a victory point. So now the abolitionist event will trigger. If you play this card and control the abolitionist space, you can remove up to 2 tokens from any one space. So they're going to remove it from here, which really hurts the Confederacy. And Fort Pickens, if you played this card and control the Fort Pickens space, you may remove up to 3 tokens from armament spaces or remove up to 1 token from any space. This will hurt the Union the most, so they're going to remove that one. Alright, and so it's time for another turn. Let me deal out the cards and we'll start the next turn. Alright, off camera I dealt out 4 cards, strategy cards to each side and 2 objectives. So the Union's in the lead, so they go first. That's their punishment for being in the lead. So let's see, for their objectives they have newspapers and Fort Sumter. Which do they want the most? Well, Fort Sumter, the peace commissioner's there, so it's unlikely they will get that, so they choose newspapers. And now for the Confederates, Deep South and Federal Arsenal. They're going to keep Federal Arsenal. I think they'll be able to get that. Alright, and the Union goes first, so let's take a look at their cards. Probably should have looked at them while I was doing the objectives, but whatever. He's going to do this one, Sam Houston. He's going to add 3 tokens to the Texas space. So he has to take them out of his token pool. Alright, so that was a pretty good move for them. Let's see what the Confederates can do. He's going to do this one here, just for the number value, just adding 3 tokens to the board. So obviously he wants that so he can have his crisis dimension, which will score a point. And let's see what else he can do. Adding that there will put him in charge of that pivotal space. So now we're back to the Union. And by the way, there's just 3 turns, and then after that you do the final crisis. So it's a fast playing game. I love it. Here's a good, oh, he can't do that event because that's a Confederate event. Naval relief. This will help him. He's going to play it for his event, add up to 3 tokens to Fort Pickens. Now the Confederacy goes. Tit for tat, this adds up to 2 tokens to the Fort Pickens space. So he gets 1 from his token pool. Actually, he had, I forgot to put these 2 from the escalation back in his token pool, so he had another there. That was my mistake. Alright. Back to the Union. Add up to 3 tokens. Yeah, this is what he's going to do. He's going to add up to 3 tokens to armament spaces. So he'll get 1 from here, and then he breaks through on the final crisis. So there's a stacking limit of 4 per player in each space, so he's reached his limit there. And then we'll put 1 here and 1 here. Since he's the first to break through to the final crisis, he gets all 4 of these tokens into his token pool, but he loses 1 victory point for being the first to do that. So now it's a tie game. But in ties, the Union goes first. Alright, let's see what the Confederates can do now. Oh, this is a good one. Add up to 2 tokens to secession spaces. So he gets 1 from here and 1 from the tension track. And at the end of his turn, he gets 3 tokens from the tension track, and now the Union gains control of the Peace Commissioner. So let's see what trouble the Union can cause here. Best place for the Union to put it is right here, because now the Confederates can no longer add anything to that space or remove it. So that basically makes sure that the Confederacy will not have a crisis dimension at the end of this turn, unless there's some card played that moves the Peace Commissioner. So anyhow, both sides have 1 final crisis card left, so they put it in their final crisis zone. Alright, and Union goes first because it's a tie game. So we go to the pivotal spaces that the Union controls. Here's one right here. And there the Union can either move to or remove to. So oh no, that isn't a... Actually, sorry, that's not a pivotal space. That one is. I take that back. So does the Union have any pivotal spaces? Yeah, they have this one. So they can move to or remove to. They're going to do neither. So now it's the Confederates. So they control this pivotal space. So they're just going to move 1 to there. And the Confederates control this pivotal space. So they will remove this Union cube and this Union cube. And the Confederates also control this pivotal space here, so they will remove this Union cube and this Union cube. So that really helped the Confederates. Do we have any others? No, I don't believe so. Alright, so after the pivotal space, score 1 victory point per crisis dimension. So no one controls that crisis dimension, no one controls that one, or looks like there's 0 points scored. That's interesting. That's never happened before in 1 turn. And now we look at the objective cards, starting with the Union one. Newspapers. Yes, the Union controls it, so that's the space right here, so they get 1 victory point. Now let's see what the Confederacy had. They had Federal Arsenal. Yes, they control it, so they gain a victory point, and it's tied again. And the objectives, the events get to be played now since the objectives were successful. If you played this card and control a newspaper space, you may remove up to 2 tokens from any one space. Alright, that's really good. I made a mistake. The Union actually did have a crisis dimension here. Let me give them a point. So remove 2 from any one space. So they're going to want to remove these 2. Alright, Federal Arsenals. They can remove up to 3 tokens from armament spaces, but the Peace Commissioner's there, so... It's going to be remove one token from any one space. So they'll remove one from there. Alright, anything else left in the round? It's got the sequence of play printed on the side of the board here. Score objectives, one victory point, then card event if end the round. Alright, so I'm going to start a new round. I'll go off camera to deal out the card. Okay, cards are dealt, so the Union will go first. Let's look at their objectives. They're going to keep Texas since they're already there. I probably should be looking at the strategy cards also when choosing the objective. 3 tokens of Fort Sumter. Yeah, they're going to keep Fort Sumter. Or sorry, I picked up my Final Crisis cards. My mistake. These objectives. Alright. It's confusing when you're looking through a camera viewfinder and they're trying to play the game at the same time. Montgomery or Northern State House. He'll take Northern State House, why not? Alright, since the Union's in the lead, they will go first. Let's see their strategy cards. He's going to do this one for its number value. He's going to take 3 and put them anywhere he wants on the board. So 1, 2, 3. Alright, let's see what the secessionists can do. Is there anything here that can move that commissioner? Nope. He's going to do this for 3. Alright, his objective was Northern State House, so we'll put 1 there, and then 2 here, so that's a stacking limit for that space. And let's go back to the Union. Add up the 3 tokens. Oh, he can't do that because that's a Confederate card. It's not going to do him much good. He's actually going to play this one for 2. So he can put 2 anywhere. So he might as well put 1 there. And 1 there. Actually, a better strategy is to put them both there, and then when it's the pivotal space phase, he can move these to the other one. That's probably a better strategy. Alright, let's see what we got here. Add up the 3 to the deep south space. He's going to do that. 1, 2, and he gets the third one from the crisis track. Oops. And last card for the Union. He's going to do it for that value, the 1, and place it right here. Going to do that. Let me check that. Up to 3 tokens here. He's going to do that for 3. So now he'll break into the final crisis. And puts 2 there. And at the end of this turn, he gets half of the final crisis stuff in his token pool. Alright, we're going to score this round before we get to the final crisis. So starting with Union, who's in the lead, we'll go to the pivotal spaces that they control. They control this one. So with that one, they can remove 2 Confederate cubes. And let's see, do they control any other pivotal spaces? I think that's... Oh, they control here too, so they're going to remove this Confederate. And the Confederacy controls the political space. So they will remove that one and that one. Alright, now score 1 victory point per crisis dimension. No one has that crisis dimension. Confederates, do they have that one? Yes, they have that one, so now they're tied. Armaments, no one has armaments. Deep South, no one has Deep South, so I believe that was the only one. So it's tied. And now we're going to check the objectives. Since it's a tie, the Union will go first. Their objective is Texas. And they got it, so they score a victory point. I don't know if the Confederates got their hidden objective. I kind of forgot about it. Northern State House, yeah, they did, so they do get a victory point. So now we go to the event text since they were successful. If you played this card, you can remove 2 tokens from secession spaces or remove 1 token from any space. They're gonna or remove 1 from any space. What would help them the best? I'll remove 1 from there. Alright, now the objective for the Northern State House. I can remove up to 2 tokens from political or public opinion spaces. All right. All right, now each side puts their strategy cards that were left for the end of the final crisis in whatever order they wish. All you care about is the bottom part, see where it says armaments here and public opinion. So he's just going to go with that. No, he'll go with this order. In this last part of the final crisis, I don't quite get what the best strategy is yet. I'm still working that out. I've only played the game maybe 7 times, so I'm still kind of trying to figure out the best strategy for that. So I'll do that. Alright, so we removed the Peace Commissioner from the game now. And we already secretly ordered the 3 final cards, and then we simultaneously reveal the first card. So the Union reveals armaments, and the Confederates reveal secession. They don't match. Alright, so since it's armaments, let's see what the Union's going to do. They're probably going to take 2 and put them in Fort Sumter. And it's secession. So Confederates will move 2 to here. All right. Now it's armaments versus secession. Can't put any more there, so I'll move 2 to there. And for secession, they screwed up. They should have put them on that space last turn. Oh well. Move 2 there. And then let's go to the last card. Public opinion versus armaments. I'll move 2 here. I should have actually done that card first. So public opinion. They'll move 2 into there. Alright, we'll start scoring the final. No one controls the secession crisis dimension. No one controls, no one controls armaments. However, the Union does control public opinion, so they get a point. And then that there, no one controls, and score 1 victory point for Fort Sumter, so that goes to the Confederates. And then score 1 victory point for having 3 or more tokens in your token pool than your opponent. Neither gets that, so it's not quite a tie. It's a tie in points, but I believe, let me check the rules real quick. I believe in a tie, then whoever controls Fort Sumter wins. Check the rule book. So whoever controls Fort Sumter at the end in the event of a tie wins. So believe it or not, the Confederates won. I didn't think they were gonna, but I really like the game. It's a really cool game. I encourage you guys to pick up a copy. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please click like on the video and please subscribe to my channel. And as always, have a good evening.